Samantha. Also, attorney Miss Ira Fuentes is using the account of Miss Ashley Fuentes po kay napoy something wrong sa yung account, hindi siya ka-log in. So also another member po, Miss Raven Deloso, will be using a different account po. So we will start recording the video.
Good afternoon or good morning. Welcome to income taxation class. So I will discuss the part 1 of this course. Now the lecture series is just merely a supplementary to the required textbook of Hector De Leon, no? The textbook that they required you to buy, no? The Law on Income Taxation. Along this line, you are prohibited to record or upload this series anywhere. No? You just need to click the link so that you can view the lecture and then read the book side by side. Or you can read the book first and then read the watch the lecture afterwards. So income taxation. So we're talking here about income. The general principles you have now De Leon define taxation, citing American jurisprudence. It says here that it is the process or means by which the sovereign, the government, through its lawmaking body, the Congress, raises income to defray the expenses of government. Now, just like an individual, no, you're working, you're receiving income to pay off your expenses. In the same way, the government needs these funds or revenue or income to pay off the necessary expenses of the government so that the government can provide programs for the public, can build infrastructure, and can provide adequate programs for the public. Now, the purpose, it can be, you can see from the definition that the purpose is to defray the necessary expenses of the government. Now, the definition of taxes. What is a tax? What is tax? Taxes are the enforced proportional contributions generally payable in money. Now, it says they're enforced because taxes are, the government enforces inhabitants, individuals, no, or either natural or juridical person to give contribution, no, so that the income or revenue, no, will be in order to raise revenue or income for the government. Now it is proportional because it is commensurate to, the tax rate is commensurate usually, generally, to the amount or the tax base. So, depende sa tax base. Kung dako ang tax base, dako pud ang tax rate. Now, characteristic of taxes, you have enforced contribution, which I already discussed, payable in money. Well, payable in money if you're going to pay for your taxes. But in the event that you fail to pay your taxes and no, the government can even levy on your property, attach your property for the payment of the taxes. So if you look at some of the titles, certificate of titles ng land, it says there is a lien, no, there's a burden in the land that says, this is subject to, this can be subject to levy, no, or attachment, no, in case of non-payment of taxes. Laid by some rule of apportionment, it is imposed on persons if it is income tax, no. It is imposed on property, no, example, real property tax. Acts, privileges, if you're acts of transferring property either by sale, by donation, or when a property is inherited. So privileges can be, let's say, business tax or any other transactions. It is levied by the state which has jurisdiction or control over the subject to be taxed.
Mag-post.
On principle that kung ikaw ang mag-tax, dapat subject nimo ang imong taksan. Meaning, if example, if the what is sought to be taxed is the property, no, then the property must be in the Philippines so that the Philippine government can tax on the property. So it is levied by the state which has jurisdiction or control over the subject to be taxed. Kasi the taxation kasi have two aspects. You have their levying, and the second aspect would be collection, and it would be cumbersome or hard or difficult on the part of this the taxing jurisdiction, no, to collect taxes kung lagyo, no, outside the country, no? So here it is levied by the state which has jurisdiction or control over the subject to be taxed. F, it is levied by the lawmaking body of the state, being that Congress is the branch of the government that functions as the lawmaking body, no, of the state. Meaning, Congress, all bills before they will pass into law, they originate, no, from, not all, but it depends on the where it should be filed, either in lower house or in upper house of the Congress. Now, when the Congress passed a bill, it goes for readings and deliberation. After it is done, and it is if the bill is compliant, substantially compliant, then it goes to the president for the approval, and that bill becomes a law. When the moment the president signs the bill or approves the bill, or sometimes inaction on the president also, no, have different implication. G is, it is levied for public purpose. Now, taxes that are extracted from the people, no, it is intended to pay for the expenses of the government for public purpose. It is prohibited that taxes are aligned to serve private individuals. It is for, it should be for public purpose. Now, theory and basis of taxation, you have both necessity theory and symbiotic relationship theory. Now, necessity theory is based on the notion, no, that the government cannot exist without taxes. It needs, taxes are needed to preserve, no, the government. Imagine if you have there, the government will not ask contribution in a form of taxes. How can the government pay the salary of the public employees serving you? Or how can they make roads? How can they make bridges? Otherwise, no, the country that doesn't impose taxes, no, would be indebted to foreign countries. No, kasi manghulam lang. But these taxes nga, no, based on this theory, is that it is necessary for the existence of the government. And you have symbiotic relationship. Na because the people was able to get some benefits from the government, no, then it is but proper and appropriate that the people who gets the benefit will also contribute. So that is symbiotic relationship. It is a mutual benefit. No? The government uses these taxes to function and renders essential services to the public, and consequently, you know, the public needs also to contribute, you know, to maintain that service or perhaps, no, enhance it more. Nature of the power of taxation inherent in sovereignty. It is inherent. No, remember, I already discussed the three powers of the government. You have the police power, power of eminent domain, and power of taxation. Now, power of taxation is one of the inherent powers of the state, meaning it is needed. No, it is that power is essential for the existence of the government. It is inherent. Now, essentially a legislative function because tax bill originates from Congress. No? Tax laws originates from Congress. But the law, tax laws or tax statutes or regulations, this is the this is the situation. Now, you have the Constitution being the primary or the supreme law of the land. All laws, not only tax laws, all Philippine laws must adhere to the Constitution. Now, if the tax law needs to adhere to the Constitution, and that means it is subject um, to it is subject to some limitation, constitutional inherent limitation in the Constitution. Namely, you have due process of law, you have equal protection clause, no, you have for public purpose and non-delegation of legislative power, and all other inherent limitation. So example, in equal protection clause, all persons or all persons must be similarly situated, must be treated alike. Mo nang pasabot sa equal protection, dapat equal. No, dili pwede nga taksan sa national ang isa teacher, ang taksan ang income sa teacher diri sa Cagayan de Oro, but dili tanan. No, that is in violation of that constitutional limitation of equal protection of laws. Due process of law naman, of course, your property, you will not be taken, or your life, liberty, or property will not be taken, no, without due process of law. Meaning, in relation to taxation, now if the BIR will assess you of non-payment of taxes, and then immediately attach your property without even a hearing and a notice, that is in violation of a due process of law, particularly the procedural aspect. And you also have rule of uniformity. Now, aspects of taxation, you have levying, as I said, or the imposition of the tax, no, which is a legislative act. There must be a law that imposes a tax, or a law will be created, no, for the imposition of the tax. And number two naman, the second aspect would be the collection. No, the collection of the tax imposed, no, which is not lodged before the legislative. This is not a Congress act, but administrative in character. So kung mag-impose na ay law, levying or imposition of the tax, legislative siya. Collection of the tax, executive naman siya, administrative. That's why kinsa man ang body, unsa nga body which is tasked to collect taxes, it is the Bureau of Internal Revenue. No, and Bureau of Internal Revenue is an agency of the government, the executive branch. No, so that's the two aspects of taxation. Now, scope of legislative power, you have number one, subjects to be taxed. It is very important to determine whether the subjects to be taxed. Is it a person? Is it a property? No? Or just a mere privilege? No? Second is the purpose of the tax. But even if the purpose should be stated, should be for public purpose. That's the scope of legislative power of taxation. So it must be determined the subject to be taxed. Dapat clear ang scope, ang coverage sa tax law, and the purpose why the tax is imposed, and the amount or rate of the tax. Kasi we're talking here about basta gani tax, there's always a percentage that the government will take, no, from the income. The manner, means, and agencies of collection of the tax. You have here the implementing rules and regulations. No? Which agency tasked to collect, no? Tasked to do this process. It must also be included in the and all other incidents of exercising the power. Now, the basic principle of sound tax system. Now, mind you, There is no such thing as perfect tax system. Absolutely not. But there is such thing as sound tax system. Now, these are the principles, no, to make the tax system sound. Fiscal adequacy, equality or theoretical justice, administrative feasibility. When you say fiscal adequacy, the sources of revenue should meet the demands of public expenditures, meaning the income must be sufficient to cover the expenses incurred, no, by that the government will incur, no? Kaya nga may GAA, no, the General Appropriations Act, because the people's money through the taxes collected from people will be appropriated accordingly, no? Na-appropriate siya kung asa nga project, asa siya pila ang budget aning Department of Finance, the PWH, no? They have the annual GAA. Equality or theoretical justice, which means that the tax imposed should be proportionate to the taxpayer's ability to pay. Of course naman, no, dapat proportionate siya kasi progressive ang atong tax system, meaning the tax rate increases as the tax base increases. If your income is bigger, then necessarily the tax percentage should also be bigger, no, unless your income there is exempt. Administrative feasibility, it is feasible. It is feasible to administer. Now, you have their administrative feasibility, which means that the tax law should be capable of convenient, just, and effective administration. In line with that principle, the BIR was able to come up with platforms that already transform them into everything into digital, no? You have online filing already, which I ask you, no, to research on. The EBIR forms is where it's a platform used by the taxpayer to file their taxes, no, either quarterly income or different tax form. And then when it is filed, the BIR will email back to validate filing. And then if there is no payment, then you keep those copies for reference and record purposes. Now, if there is payment of taxes, you go to the bank. You prepare 3 copies, and then you go to the bank, sign the deposit slip, no, BIR deposit slip, and then bayad ka sa tax due, and then the bank will stamp as to the date the amount is paid and filed. So, ang pag-date na sa bangko mo, na siya imong date of filing and paying of taxes. Kasi before, the old process was that you have to go to the regional office of the BIR, no, and pay there. But now it's different. You have a venue where to file and pay taxes if there is a tax due. Classification of taxes, you have as to the subject matter or object, you have personal poll or capitation. No? Ang subject matter, personal poll or capitation. A personal tax is a tax of a fixed amount imposed on individuals residing within a specified territory without regard to their property or the occupation in which they may engage. I know you're familiar with the residence tax, no? Or the cedula. No? B naman is property. A property tax is imposed on property, whether real or personal, in proportion either to its value or under some other reasonable method of apportionment. You have real estate tax, no? Kasi property. And excise tax naman is a tax imposed upon the performance of an act, the enjoyment of a privilege, or the engaging in the occupation. So, in example, income tax, if self-employed ka naman, you have a business, no, and it's not a corporation, no, your percentage tax, you pay for percentage tax. Now, if you are VAT registered naman, no, you're earning more, then you will be subject to value-added tax. Now, as to who bears the burden, there are two cases here, no? Direct and indirect. Direct tax is katong gi-imposan sa tax is demanded, no? The tax is demanded, direct tax is demanded from the person who is primarily liable to pay for it. of which he cannot shift it to another. Like for example, I earned income from an employer, employee ko, na ako'y na-receive nga compensation income. Then I'll be the person primarily liable to pay for the tax. I cannot shift it to another. While as opposed to indirect tax, ang indirect tax naman is ma-shift nimo, just like value added tax. If you go to the mall and buy something and look at the receipt, no, you can see at the bottom portion, you can see the amount indicated there that says value added tax, meaning there is already an amount included in the purchase price, no, but they have to indicate that in their official receipt that this is the value added tax from that purchase price. Okay. As to determination of amount, you have specific and ad valorem. Specific kung is a tax of a fixed amount imposed by the head or number kung quantity or nice standard of weight. Specific siya. No, just like taxes on distilled spirits, cigars, cigarettes, and others. Ad valorem is a tax of a fixed proportion of the amount or value of the property with respect to which the tax is assessed. Like for example, in capital gains tax, di ba? Real estate tax such as capital gains tax, estate tax and donors tax, naa sila'y rate na 6%. Depende sa value sa property, either assessed, BIR zonal, or the fair market value, whichever is higher. As to the purpose, you have general, kung general ang purpose, but it must, always remember, ang purpose, maski general o special, it must be for public purpose. If it is general, it is imposed for the general purposes of the government. While special, it is intended to be imposed for a specific purpose, no, such as to achieve social or economic ends. As to the authority imposing the tax, kinsay na authority to impose the tax, you have national or local. National tax is imposed by the national government. No? Mga national internal revenue taxes, income taxes, VAT, what else? Capital gains tax, estate tax, donors tax, documentary tax, no, and many other national taxes. Local taxes naman are tax imposed by municipal corporation or local government. Imposed ng city, ng province, no, munisipyo, no, for real property tax, no, ang imong nakayuta, no, magbayad ka man ana annual ng real property tax. It is not BIR who will collect that, no, it is the local government. Local business tax, PhilHealth, cedula, community tax. As to graduation rate, we have proportional. A proportional tax is based on a fixed percentage of the property, income, or other basis to be taxed. No? You have VAT, percentage tax, no? 3% of ang percentage tax would be 3% of the gross income. No? That's fixed rate, fixed percentage. Ang progressive naman or graduated is a tax, the rate of which increases as the tax base increases. So ang kung imong sweldo is gamay, imong sweldo, example si A and B, A is earning more than B, no, ang kang A, kung mahulog siya sa bracket nga mas taas ang rate, kaya dako man yung sweldo, si B nga earning less, ma-fall pud sa bracket na mas lower, mas lower ang rate. So that's progressive. But regressive is the opposite of progressive, but unfortunately, Philippines don't have no regressive taxes. Now, definition and nature of income tax. Sorry, I was... Definition and nature of income tax. Tax on yearly profits arising from property, professions, trades, or offices, or as a tax on a person's income, emoluments, and profits. It is regarded as an excise tax. Now, the function of the income tax is to provide revenues, to provide income for the government. Now, it also mitigate evils arising from inequalities in the distribution of income and wealth. Kasi imagine if A there is earning 10 million a year compared to be earning only 100,000 a year, but same tax rate. Okay, so this is to mitigate evils arising from the inequalities in the distribution of income and wealth, which are considered deterrents to a social progress, because the poor will become poorer. Now, situs of income means place of taxation. Now, situs of income means it is a place of taxation. Now, factors that you need to consider is the nature of the tax and the subject matter thereof, which may be a person, property, act, or activity. The possible protection and benefit that may accrue both to the government and to the taxpayer. Domicile and residence. Citizenship sa taxpayer. Asa nga resident ang taxpayer? Asa naka-benefit ang taxpayer? And the source, of course, of the income. These are the factors that you need to consider in determining the place of taxation. Kung asa ka taksan, kung pasabot, ang pasabot ana. Now, the basis, the recipient of the income is a citizen or resident of the Philippines, and that the income is derived from sources within the Philippines. Okay? If you are a non-resident Filipino, you're residing in America, but you derive sources from the Philippines, na kay property nga giparenta nimo, of course, no, you need to pay for the taxes, real property taxes. If you are a citizen of the Philippines, but you are non-resident to sa America, and then you sold property here, it will be the conveyance there will be subject to capital gains tax. And also resident, kung resident in the same way, kung na foreigner dire na resident alien, nagpuyo na dire, resident alien, dili citizen ng Philippines but resident, no, any income he will receive will be subject to income tax. No, but you need to consider some factors. It will differ, no, in considering the other factors mentioned herein. Now, I want you to read History of Philippine Income Tax Law and the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Taxes administered by the Bureau. Okay, I will leave that up to you. Now, sources. I did not include it here, but sources of our law on income taxation. Now, the Constitution, no, provision of the Constitution dealing with taxation merely regulate and limit the exercise of the power of taxation. Even if taxation is all-encompassing and very comprehensive, it covers everything, but the Constitution is there to protect rights, also protect the people from arbitrary or unreasonable imposition of taxes. So if the tax law is repugnant or not in accordance with the Constitution, no, you can file a taxpayer suit, no, assailing that the said law is unconstitutional. Now, statutes or other laws, Philippine laws such as tax law and IRC, and train and create, train law and create law, will must adhere to the Constitution. So when there is already a tax law in place, no, and it is a constitutional law, no, there is valid law, then the next thing would be the second aspect. Dito naman ka sa collection. So unsaon man pag-collect, no? So the executive branch now will make proposal, no, until it's final, no, to make an interim implementing rules and regulation, or the interim for a time being, but it can be for a trial and error period, na kung ma-okay ang proseso, then it can be an implementing rules and regulation. They can regulate, they can provide procedures. That's income tax regulation. Administrative rulings and opinions are sources of our law on income tax. If there is an administrative ruling of the Court of Tax Appeal, administrative ruling of BIR, the commissioner, not the Court of Tax Appeal, but the commissioner, and any opinions from the commissioner, no, it has a binding effect, no, in the interpretation of the tax law. Judicial decisions, because judicial decision, if the decision is resolved by the Supreme Court, all resolutions, decision made by the Supreme Court, no, are considered law of the land, because it is the judiciary that has the function of interpreting the law. If the Congress is tasked to word the law, no, construct ang balaod, ang trabaho naman ng judiciary is to interpret or to give spirit to the law. How is this applicable to this particular fact? Is this applicable to this certain taxpayer? So it is the Supreme Court that gives spirit or life to the law. Kaya because ang moabot sa Supreme Court, it's always cases, no? Actual cases, actual disputes. Tax treaties with other countries can be a source of our law on income taxation, because especially if the Philippines is a signatory to the treaty, the Philippines is bound by that bilateral agreement. If the Philippines enters into a treaty that has a reciprocity rule, meaning dili taksan, example lang dili taksan ang Filipino citizen sa ingani nga kuan nga activity. So kung wani po ng foreigner sa Philippines at nga country nga signatory po, the same way, no, he will not be subjected to the tax. That's reciprocity. Now, construction of income tax laws, legislative intention must be considered. Kasi nga sila ang mag-deliberate, di ba? Remember what I told you, that when ang origin gyud anang balaod is that it starts with the Congress, lower or upper house, and then they will deliberate, no? Mag-debate ka na sila anang bill kung unsa ba kulang, dungagan, or medyo dili ni klaro nga area. They will deliberate on it, and then it passes on first and second reading, just to make sure na that law is as walay room for what do you call this, dili siya kanandaghan dili klaro, no, nga areas. So it is very important in the interpretation of tax laws, no, that legislative intent must be considered. Sometimes kanang sa cases labi na constitutionality, or kanang there is ambiguity na question sa balaod, they will always resort to the records of the deliberation just to make sure to figure out what is the intention of the Congress in putting those terms, in putting those words, those phrases, or excluding some terms or phrases. Now, where there is doubt, number 2, if there is doubt, no, the interpretation kasi ng tax law, when there is doubt, it should be strictly construed against the government, no, in favor naman ng taxpayer, because taxes are burden, no, because you will be obliged to pay your contribution. Now, if the tax law is doubtful, then it should be resolved in favor of the taxpayer. Okay, burden man siya, burden. But in number 4, it's a different case. But where a taxpayer now claims for an exemption, exempted kuno siya, di kuno siya maimpusan sa tax, dili siya included sa malaliable sa tax, then that taxpayer needs to prove that he is exempted. The burden is the burden is on the part of the taxpayer to prove exemption. We have that Latin term. I still remember one of my professor, no, the strictissimi juris, or the Hornbook doctrine. Number 3, where language is plain. Of course, if there is no doubt and the language is clear in its terms, so there is no room for interpretation. It's all the terms there must be interpreted in its ordinary meaning, no? Taking into consideration the other terms of the law, no? Kasi it is presumed that all terms there sa balaod, all articles, no, are in harmony with each other. Walay magkontra. Now let's go to concept and items of income. Now, definition of income, page 14 of De Leon, means all wealth which flows into the taxpayer other than a mere return or capital. That all wealth which flows into the taxpayer other than a mere return or on capital is income. Okay? Now, what are the sources of income? You have labor. If you're going to work and somebody pays you, that's income. The use of capital, in which term is included for convenience, land. No, the use of capital. No, like for example, you have a property, di pa-rent out nimo. The income derived, the rental income there is an income. Number 3 is profits derived from the sale or exchange of capital assets. If there is a sale of property, no, there, and then you derive income from the sale, it is taxable. Forms of income. What else? Requisites for income to be taxable. There must be gain, meaning na profit. B, the gain must be realized or received. C, the gain must not, I'm sorry, I think there is a typo there. There must be a gain. Kailangan ay profit. It is essential to the existence of taxable income. Kasi kaluoy basad sa taxpayer, he will be taxed na gansi na gali. No? So dapat na i-profit. Number 2, the gain must be realized or received. No? Dili pwede, like for example, nagbaligya ka ng nakay property, nagpalit ka ng property 10 years ago and then it appreciated from 1 million to 10 million. You cannot be taxed for the 9 million. Of course not. Because that is considered, the income there is still unrealized unless the property will be sold for 10 million. And 3 is the gain must not be excluded by law from taxation. Income that is exempt from tax law is not considered in determining gross income. Meaning those income that are excluded. Now there's a chapter here that we will talk about what are those income that are excluded from the gross income. Gross income, it means all gains, profits, and income except income subject to final tax and exempt income exclusions derived during taxable year by a taxpayer from whatever source, whether legal or illegal, and in whatever form, money, property, or services. Even illegal, no? If you win from Weteng, no, that is income, and it should form part of your gross income. And if it forms part of your gross income, you need to reflect that from your BIR form as your gross income. Number 1, so let's cite an example, compensation for services. Nagkanta ka, gibayran ka, nagsayaw ka, gibayran ka, nag-bookkeeper ka, gibayran ka, nagpa-encode ka, gibayran ka. That's compensation for services. No, even employees. Number 2 is business income. Trade or business, meaning sa imong negosyo, na profit na imong na-receive. Pagbaligya, 10 pesos, nahalin 20, na kay 10 pesos. That's income. Practice of profession like ours, lawyers, doctors, no, that is practice of profession. it is still business income. Number 3, gains derived from dealings in property. Any profit derived when you transfer or sell a property, exchange, or even barter kung naay sobra, is still considered income. Interests. Kanang interest na kanang nakay you are engaged into lending, nagpahulam kag kwarta, and then nakay gi-interesan nimo ang pagpahulam sa kwarta. Ang kanang interest is income. That you call that interest income. Rents, when you have a property tapos ginaparenta nimo, that is rental income. Royalties, no? Royalties if you're an author of the book, no, or if you have an invention and then gi-allow nimo other person to use your invention or your book, gipalit ang imong libro, ang author mag-receive ng royalty. No, royalties are incomes. Dividends. Dividends if a corporation has unrestricted retained earnings, meaning sobra nanay profit ang corporation, tapos when the corporation declares dividends na para i-distribute sa stockholders, the dividends received by the stockholder is an income. It must form part sa gross income. Annuities. Annuities is covered sa insurance. Prizes and winnings, unless excluded, prizes and winnings, kung nakadaog ka og loto, that is included in gross income. Pensions. Partners' distributive share. So these are the items that must be included in gross income unless they are excluded. Okay? Compensation for services, salaries, commissions paid to salesman, compensation for services on the basis of percentage of profits, commission on insurance premiums, tips, pension, or retiring allowances paid by the private person or by the government, marriage fees, baptismal offerings, sums paid for saying masses for the dead, and other contribution received by a clergyman, evangelist, or religious worker for services rendered. Compensation income. So we're done with gross income. What is a compensation? Compensation income means all remuneration for services performed by an employee for his employer under an employer-employee relationship, unless specifically excluded by the tax code. Remuneration, bayad sa service. No? Compensation income earners are individuals whose source of income is purely derived from an employer-employee relationship. Like in my case, I am a part-time employee of, say, Xavier. I received income from my service, from my as an employee. No? So that I am a compensation income earner. I derive income purely from compensation. Kung maura na, if like for example, I don't notarize, no? I'm not a notary public. Kung magnotaryo ang lawyer, that is practice of profession naman. So dalawang tax. You have an income tax and you have also a percentage tax or a VAT depending on your category. No? Pilang amount ang imong annual. Kung dako 3 million and up, then you must be a VAT registered person. And who is an employee? Who is an employer? Employer and employee relationship. The test there is when a person for whom services were performed, the employer has the right to control and direct an individual who performed the services, then there's an employer and employee relationship for taxation purposes. Compensation can either be cash or in kind. Kung gihatagan kag cash sa imuhang gihatagan kag cash, then compensation is in any form. It could also be in kind other than cash. You have stocks. Instead of paying you dividend, the corporation declared stock dividend. Dili cash dividend. Stock option naman is if you higher position in your company, no, sometimes they have stock option, no, na makuha nimo ang stocks at usually kung mag-retire, no, and kasi labi na ang corporation or ang company is really making a lot of money, no, it would be nice enough to have that stock option. Living quarters or meals, sus, appeal ka na sa compensation. Fringe benefits and other facilities privilege, tips and gratuities, mga tips, pensions, retirement and separation pay, fixed or variable transportation, representation and other allowances, vacation and sick leave allowances, back wages, promissory notes, and other evidences of indebtedness, and director's fees. So these forms part of the these are the forms of compensation. But as I said, this is not this rule is not absolute. No, in some cases, it shall not be treated a compensation. But for generally, these forms part of these are considered compensation. Income from business or commercial transaction or exercise of profession. Self-employed individuals deriving income from business or commercial transaction or exercise of profession. Sole proprietor, lawyers, doctors, no, were self-employed individuals. Now, other incomes that is discussed by De Leon, which you need to go over. Now, there is what we call income from farmings, income from sale or dealings in property, baligya ka, no? That's income. Income in the form of interest, income in the form of dividends, income derived from whatever source. Always remember, legal or illegal, if it is income, it is income. Now, this is the end of Module 1. Next topic would be exclusions from income. These are income received or earned, but it is not taxable as income. Either it is exempt by law or by a treaty. Now, assignment for this topic will be uploaded in eLearn.
Hello everyone. Marta siya. And I will stop recording na. Ano na I'm gonna record.